They called her the Princess of Pop, a teenage sensation with the power to sell millions of albums, redefine an entire genre, and set global trends, all before she turned 20. But what the world didn't see behind the bubblegum beats and bold performances was a system that slowly broke her down. Britney Spears wasn't just a pop star, she was a cultural force, until she became a cautionary tale. So what really happened? How did Britney go from chart-topping legend to the face of a legal battle for her own freedom? To understand the tragedy behind Britney's rise and fall, and rise again, we need to go back to where it all started. Britney Jean Spears was born in 1981 in Macomb, Mississippi, and raised in Kentwood, Louisiana. From an early age, she showed signs of talent, singing, dancing, performing. At just 8 years old, she auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club. She didn't make the cut, not because of talent, but because she was too young. 2 years later, she got in. She wasn't alone. The cast was stacked with future megastars: Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling. But even then, Britney stood out. After the show ended, Britney returned to Kentwood, but not for long. At 16, she dropped Baby One More Time. The impact was immediate. The song hit #1 in over 15 countries. The schoolgirl outfit, the choreography, the voice. Britney wasn't just a hit, she was a phenomenon. Within months, she was headlining world tours. Magazines, TV shows, brand deals, all wanted a piece of her. But with fame came something else: control. From the beginning, Britney was heavily managed by agents, publicists, record labels, and eventually, her own family. Every interview, every appearance, every photo had to uphold the brand. A brand built on innocence and sex appeal. A paradox designed for profit. By 18, Britney was being asked invasive questions about her virginity in national interviews. She was praised for her wholesome image, then criticized when she expressed herself. Paparazzi followed her everywhere. There was no privacy, no breaks, no room to breathe. Her relationship with Justin Timberlake became headline news. When they broke up in 2002, Justin painted himself as the victim, and Britney as the one who cheated. His hit song, Cry Me a River, even featured a Britney lookalike. The public took his side. Britney was shamed, again. But she kept going, album after album, tour after tour, hit after hit, until she couldn't anymore. In early 2007, Britney checked into rehab, then checked out just 24 hours later. A few nights later, she walked into a hair salon in Los Angeles and shaved her head in front of dozens of cameras. Why? According to her own words years later, it was an act of rebellion, of desperation. She was tired of being touched, styled, controlled. She wanted to reclaim something, even if it was just her hair. Days later, she was photographed attacking a paparazzo's car with an umbrella. The image became infamous. Britney became the punchline of every late-night show. But none of this was funny. By January 2008, after another mental health episode, she was placed under an involuntary psychiatric hold, known as a 5150. Days later, her father, Jamie Spears, filed for temporary conservatorship. It was supposed to be short-term. It became her reality for the next 13 years. A conservatorship is a legal structure meant to protect people who cannot care for themselves, often the elderly or severely disabled. But Britney was working, touring, performing in Las Vegas, making millions. Yet she wasn't allowed to drive, choose her doctors, or even remove an IUD. She was controlled in every aspect of her life, legally, financially, physically. Jamie Spears, her father, became the face of the conservatorship. But the network ran deep. Lawyers, business managers, judges, all profiting off Britney's situation. She wasn't silent, not entirely. Through cryptic Instagram posts, public statements, and leaked court documents, Britney tried to tell the world. But it wasn't until 2019, when she canceled her Las Vegas residency, that fans really started to ask questions. The hashtag Free Britney movement was born, a grassroots campaign to investigate the truth. At first, it was dismissed, laughed at, labeled a conspiracy. But in 2021, Britney finally spoke in court. Her voice, shaky, emotional, but firm, exposed the reality. She described the conservatorship as abusive. She said she was forced to perform against her will, drugged with lithium, denied the right to marry or have children. She said, "I just want my life back." Public pressure mounted. Celebrities joined the movement, politicians called for reform, and in November 2021, after nearly 14 years, the conservatorship was terminated. Britney was free. In 2023, she released her memoir, The Woman in Me, finally telling her story in her own words. She described feeling like a child robot. She shared her pain, her anger, her moments of joy, and her desire to reclaim her identity. But freedom comes with its own challenges. Even today, Britney's life remains under the microscope. Every post is dissected, every photo analyzed. The media still watches, waiting for her next move. But now, at least, the narrative is hers. Britney Spears is not just a pop star. She's a survivor of an industry and a legal system that failed her. Her story is more than a cautionary tale. It's a wake-up call about fame, about mental health, about control, and about what it truly means to be free. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. It helps us bring more untold stories like this to light. Comment below, what moment in Britney's journey shocked you the most? And don't forget to subscribe to Malaimania for more raw, powerful deep dives into the world behind the spotlight. Because behind every glittering star is a shadow the world rarely sees.